Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dungeons and Deductibles after our 2-week hiatus. Feels good to be back. I hope everyone who's in the U.S. had an amazing Thanksgiving, and I hope everyone who's not in the U.S. also had a good time, just maybe with a little less turkey. Hope everybody had a good time at PAX Unplugged last weekend. Who went?
Great time.
Yeah, I sadly was not able to go, but so we are back this week, and I am joined by all four of my truly wonderful players. Let's see, we're gonna shake things up today, and we'll start with Robert. Robert, please introduce yourself.
Greetings, everyone. I am Robert Dowd, otherwise known on the interwebs as KY Hawkeye or Kentucky Hawkeye, and I am playing Scandalon Obadias IV. He is a Protector Asimar Paladin of the Temple of Helm, and for some reason he still seems to be enjoying himself among all these people in this insurance agency.
Wonder why.
Who knew?
Next up is Hannah.
Hi, sorry, I was tweeting about our game. Hi, I'm Hannah, and I play Poppy Pendergast, who is a chaotic trash goblin, who is not actually a goblin, but a halfling. She's having a time, so...
And next is Cynthia.
Crabtree, who is a gnome monk with a couple of levels of bard as well, and she is blue. This is important. It's probably not a plot point, but it is important.
Of course it's important. And last, we have Jake.
Hey everyone, I'll be playing Red Fireson, the Fire Genasi Warlock, great old one, Pact of the Tome that makes him nauseous when he looks at it now. I just checked my notes. I apparently have that curse going on. Did you remember that, Danielle?
I did remember that. That is the result of a failed contact with their plane, I believe.
Yeah. So, got that going.
Awesome. All right, so speaking of things that happened last time, let's all reach back in our brains. God, it's actually 3 weeks since we've played. 3 weeks ago, when last our players played, those of you who had been trapped in the Haze Crypt escaped because I believe Scandalon just bashed the door down, and it was really good. And you all reunited. You went and cast some Speak with Dead on the corpse of the dead halfling crime lord whose life insurance claim that you were working on. In the process of which you went to a temple of Timora that's like all run by halflings basically, and had a nice conversation with the leader of the temple. So she gave you access to the body to cast your Speak with Dead. And you learned a little bit about what was going on, and then Red made a donation to get a Greater Restoration spell cast on him by one of the temple's acolytes. Said spell got rid of Shafafana. So our dear companion Shafafana, who's been with us since the beginning of the season, is no longer with us.
He's dead?
Oh, he's just no longer with us.
He's dead.
And you talked to the priestess at the temple a little bit about this being, or this urban legend called the Watcher, which seems to have something to do with this halfling crime lord's death. She was able to tell you the names of some of her parishioners who had seen this before, including one who was an old halfling school friend of Poppy's. So you went and talked to him, got a little bit more clarification on what happened with this Watcher figure. And which essentially amounted to him seeing it in the City of the Dead, and it watching him for a moment or two and then telling him that he wasn't suitable. And then just vanishing, right? So Mildred, unfortunately, was not feeling well, so she went home to lay down. And the rest of you decided to go to the City of the Dead to see if you could lure the Watcher out, which you were, in fact, successful at doing. The Watcher came out of hiding to talk to Red, and it declared that Red was suitable and tried to make a bargain with him, which essentially amounted to offering him a nice payment in gold. Well, actually, it was in platinum. If Red would commit insurance fraud on his Waterdavian farm policies. And while this conversation was going on, Poppy and Scandalon tried a variety of methods to interact with the Watcher in a somewhat more hostile fashion, none of which really seemed to work. He seemed to be immune to a lot of these things. And eventually, Red took the deal. Red took the money and agreed to the terms, and the Watcher left. You all left, went home. Poppy authorized a little bit of overtime work so you could go get some paperwork submitted and such things. I believe Red gave a coin to some like random street urchin, I think, just to see what happens. So we'll see how that goes. Evening passed. Y'all got a nice night of sleep. Well, maybe. Somebody failed another contact of their plane and got Shafafana replaced with a different version of insanity almost right away. And when you came into work the next morning, and so this is sort of where we left off last time and where we'll pick up this time, so Mildred, you would also be noticing this when you come in the next morning. The Waterdavian Farms building is sort of an uproar. Picture an anthill that you stick a stick into and shake things up a little bit and all the ants come pouring out, right? The building, people were moving around, shouting, some people were crying, don't know, it's chaos, right? Poppy should feel very at home. And what you find out, and I believe I said Mork came up to you, Poppy, and told you that there's something wrong with the company's finances, and that there have been too many instances of payouts that should not have occurred, and the company is on the verge of going bankrupt, and some employees are gonna need to be furloughed. That's where we left off, and where we will pick up today. So the four of you are at the office this morning. Everything is chaos.
This is just going to be a crushingly realistic episode of me pulling people into my office all day.
Hey, you are head of HR. You asked for the position.
I literally asked for this.
Hey, just get Karen out of here.
Oh no. So here's the first technical question. Mm-hmm. Who would I go to first to start furloughing people? What departments would I have to see who is the most superfluous?
So Mork would hand you a list.
Okay.
And as you look down this list, you see that this is the majority of the company. It's literally only completely essential staff that aren't being furloughed. So obviously you're not being furloughed. You qualify as essential staff because you're a VP. And a few of the other higher ranked folks are being kept on. A few of the finance team are being kept on, obviously, to try to work on the problem and figure out if there's something that they can do. A few of the sales team are being kept on to try to see if they can recover some revenue quickly. But pretty much everyone else is on here. And Poppy, will you make a quick perception check for me? Or investigation. Either one's fine.
Okay, hold on, let me. Since investigation is +0 and then perception is -1, I'll go with the one that doesn't give me a penalty.
That seems
Come on,
legit.
gay dice, come on, gay dice. Oh, wait! I can re-roll ones!
You can.
Because
You're
I'm a
halfling.
halfling!
That luck of
Big
time
money, no
won.
whammies! 14.
Okay, yeah. You glance at this list, and a couple of names immediately jump out at you. And those names are Mildred, Scandalon, and Red.
Sure doesn't say. Sure doesn't say bed or Ned. Said.
That's Fred, right? The guy in maintenance?
Sed's dead, baby. Sed's dead.
And you just have a list. There's no particular order to how you handle it.
Oh man, is Karen on here?
Karen is on there.
I would like to take this, and I'm just gonna go look at the list. I'm gonna go at everyone and go, hey guys, I'm gonna be up in my office all day, so you just go have fun. I'm gonna be doing this. Cool. Cool to see all of you in this workspace that we share. Definitely. I'm going to go run to the levitator. And I'm going to go up to my office. And once I'm in my office, I am going to collect the heads of every department in my office.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
And when I am there, I'm going to say, well, there's there's some stuff going on, clearly. Oh gosh. Well, here's the thing. We're gonna have to put most of the staff on furlough. So that's fine, right? Some vacation time. I always want. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you each a list of the people that you have to put on furlough in your departments. And then everyone's gonna pack up and, just gonna see when we get called back. Of course, I am staying on. Some of you are. Karen, you're not.
Karen's not in this meeting. She's not the head of a department.
Oh, she's not the head of the department?
No.
I would have specifically called Karen in to give her this meeting.
Okay.
Don't you want to save her for just one-on-one?
Dessert.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, no, I'm going to call her up myself. Whoever the head of my former department, I go, actually, I will be handling that department, the adjustment department myself. Just some loyalty, just for old time's sake, of course. And
Up to heaven, she's on her high school reunion committee too. I love
congratulations! We are all getting vacation. Yay! At least it's not layoffs. At least it's not layoffs. For now.
So you're going to pass out copies
and I will
of this
give out
list?
I am going to pass out copies of each department. who in each department is getting furloughed.
Okay.
And I'm going to let the heads of the department do it.
Okay.
And I'm going to make it very clear that these are not to be seen by anyone else. Just do it very discreetly. And then I will look at my list and I will start calling people up to the office from the adjustment department.
Do you start with Karen?
I do start with Karen.
Okay.
I'm
all right.
sitting behind my desk.
So for the rest of you, you see Mork pull Poppy aside, and they have a quick, hurried conversation. Poppy looks distressed, as does Mork. And then Poppy runs off to the levitator, leaving the three of you alone here in this chaos.
Can I make an insight check to see if I can figure out what sort of craziness is going on, or? Not
Yeah.
yet?
If you want to make an insight check, we will see what you are able to piece together.
Also?
What?
Also?
Yeah, you can roll too.
9.
18, 23. What's up with-
Robert? You're muted.
11.
11. Okay. Red and Scandalon, neither of you is real sure about this. This is your first time working at a big corporate entity, and this could just be a thing that they do. You're really not sure.
Spring cleaning.
Yeah, it could be. Mildred, you've been around this company, Waterhaven Farm in particular, a good deal longer. You know that something is definitely off. And from the look on Mork's face, it's pretty clear to you that something disastrous and highly, highly stressful has happened. He sort of has that look he gets on his face when he's feeling overwhelmed. And you can hear around you sort of the buzz of everyone else talking and the rumor mill going on. And right now, you hear a couple of theories that you sort of dismiss out of hand as things that are, wildly untrue, like Floria being back, when you know that's surely not, right? But then you hear someone mention that there's been some strangeness going on in the finance department. And a couple of other folks mention that they've been, from the claims group, mentioned that there's been a lot of cases of fraud lately that they've found. And they're not sure how many other cases have sort of passed them by without them realizing that they were fraudulent. So you get a general sense that there's something wrong with the finances of the company, but not to quite the same level as Poppy.
So that was my insight as to what's going on in the company.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was rolling to find out what was going on with my best friend.
With Poppy or with
Poppy? Definitely related.
Yeah, it would be related. So you know that Poppy's a VP now, so if there's something wrong with the company, it's Poppy's problem. And that's Mork probably gave her some kind of task. I would say you are intelligent enough to put 2 and 2 together and realize that if there's a problem with the finances and Mork gave Poppy a task, it means she's probably going to be firing some folks. But you don't know how many or the extent.
Okay, so, team, campfire up, just for a second. Now, I don't know what's happening, but when I was on my smoke break, where, I don't smoke, so I just sit at my desk and meditate, and you hear things. When when people think that you aren't paying attention. And so I haven't been told not to talk about this because people think I don't know it, but I think, huddle up. I think we have to get done whatever we can get done today. And I think that maybe if you need to talk to Poppy today for any reason, make it fast and get out. You understand?
Understood.
And the next thing, I think that, well, Poppy and Mork are both going to be under a lot of stress. So who's got a crown that they can contribute to a nice lunch? Because they're both going to need some sustenance.
Yeah, I have some extra
Okay.
money.
Okay. Then.
I'll throw in some gold for it as well.
Okay. Do you guys want to come with me? Or
Sounds good.
Okay. I'm going to lead the boys, and we're going to find Mork's favorite taco place and Poppy's favorite halfling place that has pot stickers and pizza.
Danielle, what was my task? What was the deal again with the Watcher? I got money and I was supposed to...
You were supposed to commit fraud on, I believe it was your renter's insurance policy. So
On my place, yeah.
Yeah, like, or some kind of maybe theft or something like that. They sort of left it up to you as to what precisely you wanted to do to commit the fraud. But that was the deal.
Okay. Man, okay. All right. Yeah, I go with them.
All right, so you all run off to get tacos and traditional halfling cuisine for your two favorite members of the executive committee.
Yes.
Tacos are an easy get. The taco halfling knows Mork well and knows what he likes.
I just make Mork's order and make it a double.
Yes, and you get handed probably like 6 tacos, I would imagine. Big ones, yeah.
I will carry it.
Also, use having tall friends with lots of arm space. And Poppy's pot stickers or hot and sour soup,
Yep.
pizza, all the stuff.
You are able to go get a big order of pot stickers for Poppy. And truly, you don't think in the chaos back at the building that like anybody noticed you walking out. Certainly no one commented on it.
Probably not, but if they did, then I'm just going to say I'm on an errand for the boxes.
But yes, acquiring food, no problem at all.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Poppy...
Hello.
Hello. You call Karen up to your office. And she walks in and sits down facing you with her arms crossed, her body language very, God, what now? And she just stares at you.
She knows what time it is.
Aaron,
Poppy.
you know what this is about?
Well, I have a guess, but I'll let you say it.
No, you tell me.
Oh,
I'd
no.
love to know.
No. You're the vice president.
No. You tell me what you think.
Well, then we're just going to be here all day, aren't we? And I'm sure you're so busy.
I am so busy. Yeah, so just tell me what you think is going on, Karen.
Well, if I'm right, then I really don't have to, do I?
Well, that actually makes no sense, so tell me what you think is going on. Because now I'm a little confused.
She just shakes her head and says, no. It would be disrespectful of me.
God, you're such a bitch. Jesus. So.
Wow, such language from the head of HR. Almost like you shouldn't have been appointed to the job in the first place.
Karen, here's the thing. Everyone's going on furlough. So, enjoy that.
Fine. Okay. Anything else?
Do you like this company, Karen? Like, genuinely, do you like this company? Do you enjoy working here?
Well, I did. For a while. Until someone came along and started hurling axe beaks at me.
Well, you know, that's your own fault for not being an open, kind individual.
There is no place for axe beaks in the work environment, Poppy.
It's a fair point.
Please, dear.
Poppy goes,
Point taken.
well, that's just a difference of opinion, then.
Well, let me put it this way. I have no desire to work at a place where there are axe beaks in the environment.
We'll call it a difference of opinion. Karen, between you and me, just weirdly, I've known you longer here than anyone else I've been working with, even Mork. There's been a lot of fraud. We're not looking so good. A lot of fraud. Have you noticed anything lately? Weird with the other adjustment teams?
Well, I mean, you're right. The instances of fraud have been higher than usual, but otherwise, no. I'm not sure what you're looking for.
Anything weird happening at the company within the last, since the whole incident and
I was going to say, you mean other than the
changeover?
disappearance of the board a few months ago?
Well, here's the thing about that, Karen. Karen, are you evil? I need to know before I tell you this.
Really?
Because I have to talk to somebody about this. This is going to kill me. I think it's actually going to kill me. I have to talk to somebody about this.
That's your question. Am I evil? I work for an insurance company. What do you think?
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. So here's the thing. Mayhem is some evil sort of fae entity who had the board trapped in some sort of contract. And they were, something weird was going on, and the other board members are in fact dead, yes.
It's not surprising.
Because Floria ate them.
Ew.
Yeah, well, in a magic sort of way. Well, not Floria. No, not Floria. Mayhem ate them. I'm sorry. I'm very stressed out right now. I've been floating for a while now, and I can't figure out how to stop it. And
you should really see a cleric about that.
Yeah, I know I should, but I'm terrified because now an evil fae entity thing might come and eat me, and he ate the other board members, and now I'm the head of HR, and I don't know why I did that, Karen. I don't know why. It's hard being at the top, Karen.
Karen looks supremely uncomfortable as your voice trails off into high-pitched nothingness. And grudgingly leans forward and pats you on the shoulder and says, there.
Everyone thinks I was sleeping with Flag still. I don't know why that got around. It was a bad lie. It was such a bad lie, and now everyone thinks that I'm into birds.
Are you not?
No, I'm into orcs. Anyway, so we're gonna have everyone go on furlough. Please don't tell anyone about my nervous breakdown just now. And send in the next person. Thanks.
All right. And she just gets up, shrugs, walks out the door. And
Karen.
Yes?
Can you come back in here real quick?
She stops, turns around, walks back in. Yes.
Have you seen any weird shadow cloaky guys lately around, slinking around?
No.
Damn it. All right. Keep it sleazy.
She rolls her eyes, turns around, and Poppy, I'd like you to make me another perception check, please.
Perception or investigation?
This time specifically perception.
Oh man, that would have been a 20, but it was cocked. That's a 5.
Okay. You can hear her muttering under her breath as she walks away, but you can't catch what she's saying. And she walks out of the door and motions to the next person in line and sends them in. Which, I don't know who you wanted to do next in the department, but it's whomever you wish.
I'm gonna get through the rest of the department. I'm gonna leave them till last.
Okay. All right. So you proceed to continue with your furloughing. Mildred's candle on red. Are you all going anywhere else now that you have this food, or are you returning to the office?
I'd probably come back unless the boys have something they need to take care of.
I'd say we'd be bringing the food back right away so they get it while it's still nice and freshly warm.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that because I have prestidigitation and will Supergirl that coffee to hotness.
I also am a fire genasi, so
we've got this covered. But
you can just hold it.
Yeah.
But I would like it to still be fresh when we bring it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, anything that I want to do is actually going to be inside the insurance building.
So then the three of you come back. The chaos has died down a little bit. But now you see a lot of people who are crying, and upset, obviously distraught. You see a couple people picking up knickknacks and things from their desks and putting them into those sad little banker's boxes. You see a few people actually leaving. A couple look really angry.
I'm going to take note of which ones are angry.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of the people you'd kind of expect. I mean, the ones who are kind of loud and boisterous to begin with, who were always going to be more likely to get mad than to get sad.
Angry Bill.
Yeah.
Angry Bill.
But yeah, so the mood is definitely, where it was kind of confused and chaotic this morning, the mood is definitely taken a downturn into depressed and upset.
Can I find the finance department?
Absolutely, you can.
I would like to go there as well.
Well, if you want to, I'll take the food in because I want to deliver it while it's hot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I figured make the food delivery first before going to finance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Quick. Mork's office, unless he wants to talk, I'll just knock and say, thought you could use the cheer me up. been a stressful day. Here you go, bro. And slide him his tacos. And then just leave unless he like makes a noise like he wants help.
Yeah, Mork's office door is closed, but you can hear sort of like distraught whispering. You think he might be talking to Magic, coming from the other side. And it stops when you say something about tacos, and you set them down and you turn to leave, and you hear the slamming of an office door, and you turn around and see that the tacos have disappeared.
I'll say through the door, feel better, and we walk.
Yeah, so you gotta go to Poppy's room, which is down the hall from Mork's office. And Poppy has a line of people leading up to her door, and they're all people from the claims department. It's all people you know.
Mm-hmm. Is there anybody in line that has been particularly kind to any of us?
I mean, I'm sure that there's probably a few people in the line who are like the sort of people you'd hang out with around the water cooler. And there's probably one or two people there who like took pity on you at some point and like helped you with something, or like the people in the next row of cubes over who you see pretty frequently, and sometimes you just stop by to say hi, things like that. All of those people are here.
Somebody that I would want to do a good turn to?
Mm-hmm.
I'll hand them the food if they're like close to the front of the line. Give her that when you get in.
Okay. This person's they'll take it and they'll say, "Oh, yeah, sure. Is everything okay?"
I'm not sure, but I know that she's really stressed right now. So you don't have to tell her it came from me. Just hand her the food.
All right. Yeah, I'll give it to her. Thanks.
And actually, it didn't come from me. It came from us. But like, don't worry about that.
Oh, okay. And they'll take the food from you, all the pot stickers. They're about like 3 or 4 back from the front of the line.
I'll just hang out near the door, see if I can overhear what's going on.
All right. Make a perception check.
I think I know, but like, confirmation's good. Perception. 16 plus 9, 25.
Okay. Woof, 25. Okay. Poppy, what does she hear through the door of your office as you're furloughing another employee?
Oh, no. Don't cry. You're not fired or laid off. This is just a furlough. So it's not like permanent. Please stop. Please. Oh, no, you're going to make me cry. There you go. Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah. So just take that vacation with your kids early. Yay!
And right after that ends, you see the door to Poppy's office bursts open, and this let's see, we'll say it is a dwarf man walks out, and he's just crying, like tears everywhere, sniffling into his arm as he walks by.
Fellas, I'm guessing that we should just get in line instead of go look at our messages on our desks. What do you think? Or do you want to go and talk to records first?
I have a plan. I'm going to try to save this company.
Yes. So macro, then micro?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in. I didn't have a plan. I was off my game yesterday.
So, I want to head to finance.
Okay.
And I'll tell Scandalon and Mildred, so that money I got from the Watcher guy, I'm going to try to disguise myself as a wealthy patron and try to buy into this company to keep it afloat.
That is an interesting plan.
I definitely missed something yesterday. You got money from the Watcher?
Scandalon, you might be better at explaining it since you have an aversion to lying, and I don't want Mildred to think that I'm hiding anything.
Yes, when you left, we went back to the City of the Dead, and we were able to see the Watcher there. And Jake made himself, shall we say, an amenable target.
I wonder how.
By bragging about his policy, the standard policies that you get as an employee. The barely barium life policy and all those other things.
Oh, we don't get those. Oh, right. That's the point. Okay.
So it saw him as being a suitable candidate. And as he was communicating with him, Poppy and I tried to take him out, overwhelm him and such like that. But when I tried to grapple him, he was incorporeal. We did all sorts of things.
Banishment.
Poppy's Eldritch Blasts were shielded. Banishment didn't work. Basically, all the normal things we would do to take out a foe did not work on this creature.
So
And now Red has an agreement with him.
Yeah, and he offered me 1,000 gold, and I negotiated up to 2,000 because the Watcher just threw money just materialized it out of nowhere and threw it out, and I was like, well, obviously it's not a big deal, so just double it. And so he threw out 200 platinum, and so now let's try to save the company with the Watcher's money.
I'm in.
Yeah, but you guys have to stay outside. Unless you can disguise yourself.
Well, we could always go in separately and make it look like we are doing other things.
That's true. That's true. Do you want to go in first?
Yes, let me go ahead and go in first. I know the ruse that I want to do for what I want to do inside there anyway.
Okay.
Can I quickly, if we're approaching finance, can I see who's in working the desk today, or if they've already been dismissed?
You can peek your head in the door if you want.
There's not a glass.
Excuse me.
Say that again?
Not a window in the door.
Yeah, there's a small window in the door, so you can peek your head at the window. Yeah.
I boost her up.
Oh, I'm very tall now.
Yeah, Mildred, you can see that finance is normally pretty bustling. There's usually a lot of folks in there. Big department. There's a skeleton staff in there right now. Like 6 or 7.
It's Dungeons and Dragons, so I'm going to need some clarification on what you mean by skeleton staff.
I was literally thinking like skeletons.
Although, note to self, I'm going to use that somewhere.
New cost-cutting procedure, we're hiring the undead to handle all filing and paperwork.
Yep.
And if that happens, I have to quit.
I swear to you, I will use that somewhere else. No, this is, it's like 6-7 people in here, and they're all looking extremely distressed. 3 of them have their heads together in a corner, and they're looking at something and arguing very vehemently about something. The others have like big ledgers out that they're going through, kind of frantically. But yeah, there's a heck of a lot less people in here than there should be.
Just a quick message in the direction of Poppy's office, which is off that way, I believe. Poppy, can I have permission to go into records?
Are you going to peek your head in while I'm putting someone on furlough?
No, I'm casting message because I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
The way it is, you're not actually more than far out of range.
I'd say you're. Ooh.
okay. So what is the message?
Can I get your permission to go into records, or do I need to get permission from Mork?
YOLO.
Thank you.
It wasn't a yes, and it wasn't a no.
No, it was the name of her cousin, YOLO Swaggins, but I'm taking it anyway.
Yes.
That would be Poppy's cousin, yes.
Definitely.
YOLO Swaggins is my cousin who sells knockoff branded merchandise. Whatever, like the D&D equivalent of Gucci and Prada and Coach is, he sells that's knockoffs.
For the good of the crime family.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That is canon now. Okay. All right, so the rest of you, what are you doing?
YOLO Swaggins.
All right. After I lower Mildred back down, I slowly and quietly open the door and walk up to the main desk / counter / whatever the setup is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's probably like a big desk for like a manager at the front. Nobody's sitting there, but when you walk in, one of the people who is looking through these big ledger books, it's a young tiefling woman. She gets up and comes over to you, and she's looking very tired. She's got like circles under her eyes, and she walks up and says, "Hello. Okay, what can I do for you?"
I am one of the workers in claims adjustments, and I've just recently been assigned to do a quality assurance study on the claims with the top 5 most active adjusters groups over the past 6 months to review the claims that have been processed and the outcomes of those claims investigations and the total outlays of claims from those. I was wanting to see if I could get that information from you.
She kind of looks at you a little bit suspiciously, and she says, "Who commissioned this study?"
This has been commissioned by the claims department itself. In fact, it is if you get in touch with Poppy down in HR, she will probably give you all of the information of confirmation that you would require for such an activity.
All right, I'll send Poppy a memo. Okay. In the meantime, I mean, what are you looking for? The records room has most of that information.
Yeah, the reports filed by for the claims for those top 5 most active claims adjustment groups here.
Those would all be down in the records room.
Would you have at least the transaction records? Listings here.
We have the payments, payment records, and we would have records of the payouts.
That would suffice.
All right. She gestures around the room with all of like the empty desks and says, "Have a seat. Take your pick, and hang on."
I take a desk as near as I can to put me in audio range of as many of the people that are still in the office as possible.
Okay. She walks back to the desk where she was seated, and you can see that there are like ledger books stacked on this desk. She fishes through them. You hear thunk, thunk, thunk as she like moves some of them off of a stack onto another stack. And she pulls out one of these ledger books and brings it over and sets it down in front of you. It hits the desk with a very audible slam noise. This is a big book. We're talking like 2 feet tall.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's a solid like 4 or 5 inches thick. So this is a monstrously big book.
Mm-hmm.
And she slams it down on the table in front of you, probably not intentionally. It's just a really big book. And gestures, and she says, "This is." This is all of our transactions from this year.
Thank you, madame.
How about
I appreciate your assistance.
You're welcome.
And
I don't know what the claims department thinks they're going to see that we haven't already, but you're welcome to try.
The theory is there's wisdom in a multitude of counselors, and there is increased vision with a multitude of eyes.
Hey, far be it from me. I mean, best of luck. I hope you see something, because we've been at this all night.
So I can see.
And she goes back to her desk and sits down, pulls one of these giant ledger books toward her, and starts going through it again.
Mm-hmm. I slowly start going through the book, especially starting at the very beginning. I'm not really as concerned in the last 6 to 12 months. I'm more interested in the last 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm doing it more of a sense to look like I'm looking at stuff, but actually I'm trying to listen to overhear anything that I can.
So you're not you're making a show of looking, but you're not actually really looking at all. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I'm looking but not seeing. I'm seeing but not looking.
Give me a performance or deception check to. I'd prefer performance, but if you have deception, I will let you guys.
I've got +3 on both of them, so.
Cool.
14.
Nice. Okay. So you make a pretty good show of it, but still are able to kind of, side eye, keep an eye on the rest of the room as you're doing so. Okay. So Scandalon goes in and sort of sets himself up at a desk with a book.
Then I'm going to use my Mask of Many Faces and put on essentially early 20th century British explorer garb.
Okay.
With a big, thick walrus mustache. And yeah. And
you get
I'm
a
gonna
hat too.
Oh yeah. It's a
The big pith helmet?
not the helmet, it's a slouch hat, like where it's like an Australian slouch hat with one side pinned up and then the other one not. And I'll burst in and go, excuse me, I'd like to speak with the CFO of this fine corporation.
Okay. Everyone in the room looks up. Well, you can tell me if you look up or not, Scandalon, but everyone else in the room looks up when you just waltz in looking like this. And I
do the standard lookup of someone who's not belonging in the department, looking to see who's going to respond
to this. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see like eyebrows disappearing into hairlines. As everyone's just like, what the hell is going on? And then a gnome woman gets up from the group that was arguing in the back and comes to the front and says, what can I help you with?
Hello, I am Barty Notchbrow. I am just back from Chult, and I have made a fortune there, and I'm looking to invest.
You're looking to invest.
I'm looking to invest.
In this company.
Oh, yes. Insurance. There's not a better business you can be in. That's what my father told me before he was eaten by a dinosaur, whatever they call them down there.
She kind of peers back over her shoulder, looking at the rest of the group like... And they kind of all sort of shrug. She says, what kind of money are you looking to invest?
The spending kind. What kind of money can I invest? And how big of a ownership stake in this fine establishment can I get?
Well, let's just assume that the company is open to a substantial investment. Assuming that, why don't you tell me what kind of investment you want to put down, and I'll tell you what kind of stake you can get.
Can I insight check her to see if, she's... I just want, is she... Do I think I can get her to tell me what kind of percentage I can get in the company for a certain amount? Or because I don't want to be in a negotiation, I don't want to be the first one saying a number.
Sure. Yeah, you can make an insight check.
Ooh. It's a 19.
19. The whole room has an air of tired desperation. It's
so every financial department.
Yes. But I mean, they've all got bags under their eyes. They bloodshot. They look extremely tired, and that they were arguing in the back before you came in. You think that if you give her a number, she's probably gonna give you a number in return. Now, how favorable it is, given the air of desperation, you're not sure. It could kind of swing. It depends on the variety. If they're desperate for any money, they might offer you a really, really nice valuation. If they are, if they think that you have more money, then they might offer you a very low valuation in an attempt to bump your number up.
Sure. I will say, so did you mention your name? I don't think I received that.
She holds out a hand and she says, "My apologies. My name is Ari."
Ari?
Mm-hmm.
Pleasure to meet you, Ari. So, listen, I hate to be blunt with you, but this is business. And I am a hunter, amongst other things, and I smell blood in the water. And I think you're desperate. So, just tell me, how much money would I need to invest to get 5% of this fine company? I think you need more than I need you. You know what I'm saying.
Ooh, okay. Make an intimidation check.
Oh.
How much money does Red have?
2,300 gold.
Does he not have anything stashed away from his adventuring days?
It was burned through pretty quickly.
Oh no.
21.
21. Okay. She eyes you up for a moment, and then you sort of see something give in her. And she says, "A 5% stake." Now I have to do math. God.
If it's easier, you could give me what I would need to invest for a 1% stake, and I'll do the math myself.
That That was out of character. that was Danielle, the GM, now needs to do math. She says, a 5% stake in the business would be about 50,000 gold.
50,000 gold. And of course, this is just, obviously, I'd need to look in the books first before any contract was signed, just to make sure both, yes, of course.
We could get you to sign a non-disclosure agreement, at which point we could share some of the financial information so you can understand what kind of investment you're getting into.
Of course. Sure. You know what? Let's start at 1% and get the process started. And if I like what I see, I'll offer more money.
So 10,000 gold then.
10,000 gold. Let's make it. Let me look at the finances first, and then yeah. My father always said, why would you stick your head up a bull's ass when you can take the butcher's word for it? So
Wow.
It's from Tommy Boy.
Yeah. While all this is going on and everyone's distracted, I want to cast Divine Sense to see if anyone here in finance has anything evil any kind of thing fiendish going on with them.
Yes, you can cast Divine Sense. You get a flicker of fiendy energy coming off of the tiefling. Not strong, because the tiefling's not a full fiend.
Yeah.
But just a hint of it. That's normal.
Right. Yeah, that would be a normal.
But otherwise, no. Everyone here seems... You've seen a few of these people around.
Or to make sure nothing was hiding or lurking somewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so Red, Ari, the CFO, goes over to a filing cabinet and rummages around a little bit in it and pulls out a contract or a document and brings it over to you and sets it down on the table along with a quill and some ink, and pushes it over to you, and she says, this is our standard NDA. Basically just saying that if you share any of our confidential company information, that, we have the right to lay claim to your money, your possessions, your property, your soul, things of that nature.
And, of course, there's a standard clause in there that if this company is withholding any financial information that would be needed for a potential investor, that I would own all of your souls and could eternally torment them.
Oh, no. That kind of clause would be in the final purchase agreement.
Okay, so
this
is
just an NDA so that you can look at the information.
Okay. If I glance at it, is it just a standard?
Yeah, it looks very boilerplate. You can see, there's a section where she's filled in the assumed name that you gave.
Barty, Notchbrow?
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll sign it.
Okay. So you sign it and feel a kind of a flicker of magical energy pass over you.
Just enter into all the contracts.
As some kind of binding takes hold on you. And she picks it up and says, excellent. And she takes it, files it in a cabinet, and comes back and says, all right. What do you need to see in order to make this decision?
Well, first of all, I'd like to see all of your financial records dating back last decade. And I'd like to see all your personnel files of all your executive level officers for the last decade. And I'd like a private office to peruse at my leisure.
Personnel files, for those you'll have to go to HR. We don't carry those here. I can get you the financial statements, and she points off to the side where there's like a couple of glass offices kind of off of this main chamber, and she says, "You're welcome to take one of those offices if you'd like to review them."
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Ari. I appreciate you being so kind in this endeavor. I hope things don't seem as dire in the financials as they seem out here.
Yeah, I hope that too. And she picks up a stack of papers and hands them to you. And she says, "Good luck."
I go back and start looking at them, and then as soon as I think the coast is clear, I'm going to contact other plane.
Okay, cool, good. Wouldn't be an episode of Dungeons and Deductibles Season 2 if we didn't have contact other plane.
After all, we have 2 weeks of being off. He's got a lot of contacting to catch up on.
Yeah, I know. We got to do this several times. All right, let's do some contact other plane.
Okay. As I pull out my ritual book, I start dry heaving.
Yeah, because you can't look at it without being overcome. Yeah.
And I'm trying to like muffle the sounds.
You hear from the main room. You hear, "Are you okay in there? Do you need like?"
I mean, some of these numbers are rough.
Do you need? Not that rough. Do you need some Pepto?
There's Pepto?
Yes.
Yeah. Do we need to cast Greater Zofran on you?
So he'll just set up. These are like, did I just get papers or did I get ledgers?
These are the papers because these are financial statements. So these are not the full ledgers of transactions. These are just the balance sheet essentially.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just say no. I'm fine. It's, anytime I see red numbers on the page, it causes a reaction. That's what makes me a good businessman. So he's just gonna dry heave his way through the ritual casting of contact other plane.
All right. Okay.
Making all sorts of noises.
Go ahead and make me your intelligence check for that. While you are doing that, Mildred, what are you doing while all this is going on?
Laughing my head off. No. I would like to just cast a quick message towards Mork's office and say, "Sorry to bother you again. I hope the tacos were okay. Just quickly, could I use your name to get into the records office? I think maybe we can save the business."
You get a message back that's, "Hello, Mildred. Tacos were good. Go ahead in the records room. It doesn't matter anymore."
Oh, Mark.
Better.
And that's sort of the end of the message you get back.
This poor guy, he's just sitting in a pool of his own flop sweat.
He's very distressed.
Works so much. You don't even know. Okay, so then I head to the records room and passing Red probably going out.
Well, so Red's not in the records room. Red's still in finance.
I thought he finance and records were together because finance operates on records.
Nope. No. Finance is not the same as the records room. Because the records room carries more than just financial information. It carries like all of the files for like cases and things like that. This is the financial office just carries like the ledgers and transactions and the money.
Well, since we're following the money, I'm going into the finance office then.
Okay. So then you can come in after Red comes in disguise.
Yeah. I pass by a complete stranger who nevertheless puts off that charcoaly scent and the heat of Red. And I don't say, "Hi, Red," because I have some presence of mind.
Good.
But only just. I'm like, "Hey, okay." And I go in and I say, on business from, I need to look through. You know what's going on, don't you?
They all kind of look at each other, and then the CFO, Ari, she says, "I don't know what you're talking about." But she says it very much in the way that she's like, she obviously does, but she can't say anything.
She's supposed to say that. I know you're supposed to say that. It's okay. You can tell when a business is going downhill because you're really competent. And so I need to find out why it's going downhill. On Mork's orders, may I please look into the things that have been troubling you?
She kind of waves a hand around the room. She says, "What do you think we've been doing on Mork's orders?"
That very thing. But sometimes it takes someone who doesn't know what they're doing to ask a question that would probably be obvious to someone who really does know what they're doing.
Well,
maybe my idiots can see something that yours wouldn't see because you've been looking at it so much.
your friend Scandalon is over there with our transactions ledger from this year. If you want to join him, that's fine.
Thanks very much. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Saved you a taco from the lunch order. Do you want?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
She'll take the taco. Goes back to the desk. They all start arguing back there again.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Scandalon.
Mm-hmm.
Where have you gotten to?
Oh, I've been flipping through the book. I'm about at the point where where all the transactions that start just after the disappearance of the board. And I'm starting to, as I'm writing down the transactions from the claim payments that have been settled by claims adjusters other than us, to see what kind of numbers have been shelled out and what kind of cases they were, if it's stated there. But also while I'm doing that, I'm trying my best to listen to the arguments so I can see what they are talking about, because that's going to be just as important as the numbers I see here.
Good idea. You focus on that. I'll look at the books. Show me what you've...
Okay. Here's where I am. This is about the point after the changes in administration.
So, DM, what I want to look for first is, are the other teams averaging approximately the same rate of returns and acceptances that we are? Or is there a team that stands out as having maybe too many payouts, or, something off of the, normal range?
Okay. So I will say, Mildred, you go ahead and make me an investigation check as you look at the book. And
I inspire myself with a very quick...
You may.
Shoot the moon.
And Scandalon, go ahead and give me a perception check as you try to listen to the folks who are arguing in the back.
Okay.
I love
12. 12 for me.
Okay, and Mildred?
28.
28, okay. Scandalon, you're having a hard time hearing them. They're talking in pretty low tones.
26. 26, that's
26,
not an 8.
Okay. Mildred, you take a look at the record books. And you notice a couple of things. The first thing you notice is that there is no one team that stands out as far as having paid out substantially more than the others. Obviously, there is some fluctuation. Some of the teams are handling larger cases, but none of it strikes you as odd or extreme. overall. But when you start diving into some of the more recent numbers, you see some stuff that strikes you as a little odd. There's a weekly department meeting where they sort of, give rundowns of cases that have been closed and payouts that have been made. And they, kind of do, like, the really stereotypical corporate congratulatory things for, for teams that have handled the most or done the best in a given week, right? It's kind of boring. People don't pay a whole lot of attention, but you've paid enough attention over the last couple of months to see that there are some payouts in this ledger that you don't recall ever hearing a case about. You don't, and there's even, and part of the reason why you notice it is because there are some payouts that look like they were handled by your team that you didn't do. And they're not, the payouts themselves are not particularly high, right? They're not, none of them by themselves is worthy of breaking the bank or anything like that. It's a couple $1,000s, a couple thousand gold here, a couple thousand gold there. But just from your team, you can see a good 40, 50,000 gold that you didn't authorize.
On this desk, are there like highlighter pens or red pens?
Yeah.
Mark each of those, and then I saw everybody in line at Poppy's office, all from different teams.
Poppy's office is just the claims teams.
Okay. Yeah, but all from different claims teams.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Message towards Poppy. See how many people you can get back. I have questions. These are important.
Okay, but a lot of people are going to be crying.
I get that, but maybe I can save their jobs.
Do we have a company-wide intercom system?
Sure. Absolutely.
Well, I will use the company-wide intercom system to go. Feedback.
The building had sending built into the wiring.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hello? Hi. Head of HR Poppy here. Would the entire claims department please come back upstairs to the 3rd floor to my office? No, come to the big meeting room upstairs. Thank you. Screech!
Screech.
Don't worry. It's fine. Everything's fine. I just need the claims department. But it's fine. I love you. No, that's not right. Click.
Okay, so this message goes off in the middle of your preparation for Contact Other Plane, Red. So what did you roll on that intelligence saving throw?
That's a 17.
All right, you clear it. No more insanities for you, at least not today.
Yep.
So what kind of entity are you reaching for this time?
I am reaching for a preferably a devil, someone lawful, who's good with contracts and negotiations.
Okay. All right. You feel the establishment of this connection with a being from another plane, and you're not sure if it's infernal or not. You're not getting like a sense of brimstone,
Right.
but whatever it is pretty dark. Definitely evil, probably lawful. You think? Maybe.
Okay. So it's a new entity, maybe?
It is a new entity. It's not one you've contacted before.
Okay, I'm going to say, usually I do a little small talk on this thing, but really don't have the time. I'm trying to save a company, an insurance company, and hopefully I'm talking to something that has some experience in insurance adjacent industries, whatever plane you're on, and so I'm trying to save this company. I just entered into a contract with this thing called the Watcher, real creepy guy. I did some high level magic at this thing and didn't take hold at all. I took 2,000 gold from them to do some insurance fraud, but now I'm trying to save the company that I was supposed to do insurance fraud on because I was. You would understand. I mean, you're super intelligent. You understand where I was going, what I was going for here. So, what I want to know is, first question: how do I? Can you help? Just tell me where I can, these finances in front of me, the best thing to point out financially that will drive the price of my investment down. So right now they're asking for 1% for 10,000 gold. I'd like to get that down as low as possible, at least to 2,000 gold or lower. So point me in the area if you can, please. And in these records, whether it's a balance sheet or something, that's like the first.
Hang on.
I was gonna say like.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
In casting it, I was gonna ask for like, I think it's Glacia, who's daughter of Asmodeus and is super into finding holes and loopholes in contracts, but I don't think Red would know that. So
Probably not. That's some specialized fiendish knowledge.
DM knowledge.
So I would say if you were a warlock of the fiend, you would definitely know.
Sure.
So the response you get back is P&L.
Can you spell that for me?
It's P ampersand L. P and L.
Oh, profits and loss.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I go there, and I guess that's pretty obvious, but that's probably like the first thing I would have checked. But is it pretty? Does it jump out to me when I glance at it, or?
So as you are glancing at this profit and loss statement you're looking at, I mean, it doesn't look good.
Right.
It's pretty clear that the losses have been substantially higher in the last couple months, particularly in the categories surrounding payouts, essentially. I mean, you would know that the basics of the insurance company is that, you know, they collect enough in fees that they hope that they can deal with the one or two payouts that they have to do per year, right? They are paying out way too much to sustain the business profitably.
And a lot of, I think most insurance companies have insurance themselves for major natural disasters and stuff. Mm-hmm. Does Waterdeep, does this insurance company have that?
It's not notated here on the balance sheet.
Okay.
So you'd probably have to ask if you wanted to verify that. But just from what you can see on the balance sheet, the losses are wildly high. And as you're looking at this balance sheet, for a second you think there's something wrong with your eyesight. That the numbers on the page blur. And you have a moment where you're like, whoa, wait a minute, like rubbing something out of your eyes, trying to see if something is wrong with you. But nothing is wrong with you. You look up, look around, no problem. When you look down at the balance sheet, at the profit and loss statement, again, the loss numbers have ticked up.
Is it normal to have enchanted pages like this?
Some companies do, like large ones, but they didn't warn you about anything like that, so actually, it's 9:00. So on that note, we'll take a break so everyone can process this revelation, and so Jake can think about what the next 4 questions Red's gonna ask are.
Yeah.
And we will come back shortly. Give us 10 minutes, and we will see you at 9:10. Go to the bathroom, get a snack, get a drink, and we'll see you then. Bye. Hello, everyone. We are back. Thank you for rejoining us on this side of the break. And, well, we have just learned some interesting things, haven't we, about transaction ledgers and financial statements. And, Red, you have 4 more questions to ask.
Yes. So I will ask. So who in the building that works here is currently committing corporate sabotage against this company?
Okay. The answer is
Me.
surprise. The answer is
Scandalon gets a huge light up on his detect evil and good or whatever.
the villain was you all along.
He was the mole.
God, that was a good game show. Anyway.
It was.
Sorry, having like flashbacks to like a decade ago. The answer you get is no one.
I guess. All right. How do I get out of? Is there a loophole or something in the contract I made with the Watcher that can get me out of it?
Your one-word response is murder?
With a question?
Yeah.
Are you asking me?
With that sort of inflection.
Right.
Murder?
Wait, did I contact you or are you contacting me? You'd be very disappointed if you're contacting me. I'll say, well, how am I supposed to feel like I'm just getting more underwater in this thing? I'll just go to more personal stuff. Where is Jeff or the person who stole my flying carpet?
Love this guy.
Did we establish when this occurred?
In my adventuring days.
Okay. Schultz.
I hate Schultz. The bugs there are crazy. Why are these financial statements so weird, and why are the losses so bad? And what this isn't normal. Where do I need to look next to follow this craziness?
Door.
That was 5. Is it like a deep, dark, like Cthulhu-y voice, or is it like?
It is a masculine voice, but it's not especially deep. It has a sort of false positivity to it.
What if I was just contacting Jeff the whole time? Jeff is an evil. So I'll finish going through, because I've only gone over the P&L statement, and I'll go through the rest with my hyper intelligence and look for anything else that stands out.
Yes. Let's see here. Okay. I've probably asked you this 100 times. Do you have the Eldritch Invocation that lets you have detect magic at will, or you have to actually cast it? You do.
Yeah. So yes, I would detect magic as well.
Okay. So you're sitting here examining this P&L. And I'd say for about 15 minutes or so, everything seems to be... You're going through it, and it's not good, but it doesn't appear especially suspicious. And then, while you have Detect Magic up, there is a moment where... You know how, like, when you've used something under a black light, something that's white, it gets, like, kind of, like, really bright? You almost see, like, that happen. And there's a brief flash of necromancy and necromantic energy around these papers. And...
Undead paper.
And then it fades. And when you look back down at it, now that this flash of energy has died away, the losses have ticked up again.
I'm gonna, still in my disguise, I'm gonna go to the door.
Okay?
And examine the door, open it and examine the door. Investigate the door for, like, marks and stuff, symbols.
Okay. The door's a door?
You're telling me the door's a door after that entity told me door?
I didn't tell you which door.
How many doors are in this place? I'll take a step outside and I'll go, what was her name again? R something?
Ari.
Go. Yes, Ari.
She looks up and stands up and says, yes, what do you need?
Is it, you didn't mention that your P&L and balance sheet and income statement are all enchanted?
She looks at you kind of funny and says, they're not.
That is incorrect, Ari. They're very much so glowing with magic and weird magic. Magic that should not be on paper. And there's only been one time in my whole career where I've seen this type of magic on paper. He waits for her to see what she does.
And when was that?
I'm glad you asked. Because when we looted the temple of the Arch-Lich Lenny, we were going through his back room, and he had a pile of apples in his back room storage area, as well as paperwork, and all of his paperwork was glowing with necromantic energy. And I have just seen it right now, just right over there, over my shoulder, and it's freaking me out, Ari.
I assure you, we do not have any liches in our employ.
I was not suggesting that. That was just the story of... I was just telling you a story, Ari. It was just meant for entertainment and for information. But I assure you, there is magic on your paperwork. And the fact that you don't know this is not looking good for you or this company and its valuation.
She holds out a hand and says, can I see these statements?
Come on in.
She comes into the room, picks up the P&L that you were looking at. And she frowns. She says, that's not right.
What's not right?
The numbers on this P&L, we did these numbers this morning and they were different.
Yeah, they're going up. That's why I asked if you didn't tell me that they were enchanted, because as I was looking at them, they were going up.
I don't understand. And she picks them up and she says, I'm gonna have to take this to our CEO.
Well, since I found this, I believe I should be there. If I'm going to be investing in this company, I can possibly dispel magic on it if you'd like. Or a fee,
well,
of course.
our CEO is a wizard. I mean, he can, of course, dispel magic. But I do think this probably needs to be a private conversation. We do appreciate your offer, and if you want to leave your contact information, we will definitely reach back out once we've figured out the source of the discrepancies in our finances.
Very well. I cannot guarantee that I will still be looking to invest if and when you contact me again. So, best of luck, and I recommend you put some wards on your filing cabinets immediately.
So yeah, we'll take that under advisement. Thank you for catching this.
You're very welcome. Then he turns loudly, walks off, and starts shouting as he leaves to his non-existent butler to pull around the carriage.
Nice. Channeling the tech bro, the Elon Musk of D&D.
Sure. This big carriage shaped like a cube, just very sharp lines comes out.
It looks awful, but everyone pretends to love it.
And the butler's just like demonstrating how the windows don't break to some random passerby. It's just like, ooh.
Let me guess. The license plate says 8-bit, right?
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, you go out in the hall. You've heard at this point. You would have heard Poppy's loudspeaker message. So there's that. If you want to go do that, I don't know what your actual intentions are now that you've left the room.
What was her message again? I'm sorry.
Poppy, would you like to rehash?
Poppy?
Oh, the message was just everyone from our department, or well, it's not our department anymore, comes up to the big meeting room upstairs. I assume there's a big meeting room upstairs, like a boardroom.
Yeah. There's a big training room up here. I think we've established.
Because Mildred said to bring everyone up, so I did, and so I shuffle off into the meeting room and look at the line of people who I assume have kind of got the memo at this point. I go,
yeah, people are figuring it
out. Field trip, everybody. We're going into the boardroom. We're going to have a big old meeting. It's fun. Yay. And I kind of float over into the boardroom.
Sure. Mildred and Scandalon, what are the two of you doing?
After Poppy and I exchanged that set of messages, I think I sent one more. Tell everybody to bring their department's personal records of their cases. And I'll also trot down to the records room for the records of the cases that each team filed in the past year.
Okay.
And I'll assist with the gathering of that stuff as well, since I'm not able to overhear anything.
Okay. When you arrive at the records room,
Angelin's got to bring the ledgers from the financial department, because we got to know exactly where the
I'll carry the tome.
Okay. When you arrive in the records room, there is nobody here, and all of the lights are off.
Is the door locked?
Door's not locked, but all the lights are off.
I go ahead and open the door for us to go in.
Sure. Yeah. You guys have been in here before. You know, there's the counter with the little bell, and these stacks of shelves with boxes on them. but no lights on. You don't hear anybody rustling around.
Do we go in?
Yep. But on the wary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lights on.
So you guys head into the stacks. So as you're wandering through here, you can see that these boxes that are on the shelves are all labeled differently. Some of them are labeled with things like, policy documents, A to J, things like that. Some of them are labeled with things that are more like legal matters with a year on them, right? The consistent thing that's strange about all these boxes is that you can tell by looking at them that there is no way all of the policy documents for customers from A to J would fit in a box this size. It's not that big.
I'm not bothered by that because I know that there's magic. I opened it and they still aren't in there. Now I know that they're being stored somewhere else or they've been destroyed.
So go ahead and give me an investigation check. Scandalon can help you if he so chooses.
I will assist.
To try to find the appropriate box.
I will take that first roll. And since I did not use my inspiration earlier, that's inspiration is a D4 for a bard.
I don't recall. I think it's a D6.
Might be D6, depending on what your level is.
4. D6. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we saw before that these were like boxes of filing that where they could store lots and lots of stuff in them.
We set the 4, roll the 10, and I have a plus 10, so 24 to investigation.
Nice. Okay. You wander around the stacks for a bit, and then you finally see way up on one of these shelves a box that says claims files and with the current year written on it.
Aha! Scandalon, would you lift me, please? Because I know full well that Scandalon could get them down, but I want to be
Instead, Scandalon just boosts you up. Are you pulling the whole box down? It's pretty heavy. You could try to get it off the shelf if you want.
Do I need to roll for that?
I will make you roll a strength check, yeah, if you want to pull the box off the shelf.
I thought I was. 16 plus 2.
Okay,
18.
yeah, you're good. You get a solid grip on this box and just hoist it off the shelf. And Scandalon can lower you down.
The view is really different from up there. Did you know that?
Yes, I'm quite accustomed to it.
Okay, let's haul this to the big meeting room upstairs.
Okay.
And we truck along.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Red, are you also going to the big meeting room? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Not in whatever my name was.
You dispense with your disguise.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please keep the mustache, though?
No. He's got a beard.
But the walrus mustache.
The four of you converge on the meeting room. And the meeting room is now filled with, not everyone, because, Poppy, you've been furloughing people for like 2 hours at this point, and some of those folks have already gone home. But everyone who is still in the building and was able to hear your intercom announcement is here. They are all in various states of distress. There are lots of tears still occurring in the room. A few people have kind of stopped crying, but look like they're on the edge of crying again. But they're really not sure what's going on and why they've all been called up here. And everyone's chattering kind of quietly, so there's sort of almost like a hissing noise running through the room as everyone whispers.
That's the snake people twins. We have some twins that are snake people. They're from Chult. They're great. They do great work. So I'm going to stand up or stand in my chair and go, I'm sure you're all wondering why I've asked you back here and gathered you here in the room. Is Karen here?
Karen's gone.
I'm sure you're all wondering. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know. Mildred, take it away, Mildred.
Gandalon and his big strong muscles can carry that box.
I got the tome in one hand and the box in the other.
Okay, everyone. You all brought your records?
A couple of them sort of half-heartedly dump things onto the table.
Okay, everybody put your records in front of you, and then leave it there and stand up and move 2 chairs to the left.
There's a lot of grumbling.
Don't care. And then I'm going to take out the records from the records department and put the records on the correct stack, but not in front of the correct person.
Mm-hmm.
You see it? Okay. Now there's some pencil.
Some pencil whipping.
There's some pencil tomfoolery that's been going on. There are records that don't match what we know is the truth. So I want everyone to take a good, hard look at the records in front of you and find the wrong thing. There are cases that have been ascribed to us in the main records that aren't in our own personal records. Everybody find something.
Is Ari in here?
Mm-mm. This is just the claims department.
I will say, Mildred, I was looking at profits and losses and balance sheets, and I did detect magic, as you've seen me do a bunch of times, and these papers, these statements that are supposed to be just statements, not magically enhanced, mostly for the most part, had a bunch of magic coming off of them, including necromancy, and the numbers were changing and the losses were going up as I was looking at them.
Necromancy, you say?
Yeah, remember? Does that ring any bells?
That was just highly unusual.
I'm more referring to what we found in various places.
Did we
Maybe
manage
it's-
to bring this from the finance department?
Did you bring what from the finance department?
People.
People? No.
Good, then we can check their work without offending them.
Well, now I want to be clear. What you've pulled out of the records room is the case files, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the paperwork you all fill out. And then you have the ledger, which is the actual payments that have been made, the transactions.
Right. And then we have our own records.
And then you have your own records, correct.
So we're going to find the tomfoolery. Everybody who's watching, who's ever been in the military, knows that's not the phrase on my mind.
Well, so this goes on for, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes probably.
Yeah.
Before like the first person gets through all of their recent records. And they turn back to you and they say, there's nothing out of place here.
Okay. there's nothing that's a case that is ascribed to you that you didn't actually handle?
She says, she holds up her own personal records, and she holds up the records that came from the records room, and she says, these two match.
Okay.
And no
Now,
your own records.
Well, okay, but the two sets of records she has, that's what I meant. They don't have to be hers, but
do you have records of these? And I point out on the in the ledger book, additional payments on claims done by that team that she was looking at.
well, she points at the ledger book. She's like, if you want me to compare it to that, then I need that.
I take it over to her.
So she'll take the ledger book from you and start going through things again. What'd you say?
I'm going to hand her my red pen and say, just underline and initial everything that isn't right.
All right.
That doesn't appear in the records.
She takes it. And
Also, do we have anybody that can get rid of the magic? Not right
Yes.
away. See it working. But
I can.
okay, keep that on tap.
she starts going through
Yeah,
the
I've got
records.
Dispel Magic too.
She starts going through the records in the ledger side by side. And it takes her about, I don't know, a minute maybe before you see her mark something in red in the ledger.
Everybody, I apologize. This is probably going to take a while because we all have to go through it individually. Shall I order tacos?
I would say we put it on the company card, but in this specific context, I don't think that's a super great idea. So
I pull out a bag of coins, give them to someone, say, the Mucho Macho taco truck is 3 blocks down and two trucks to the left. Get the Samson order, which is their huge order of their equivalent of the 12-foot long sub at Subway kind of thing. Go now. Because I see that person doesn't have any records with him and all that, and I recognize him as not being the leader of one of the teams, and that person's expendable to go out and get food.
Sure. You can send someone off to get tacos. That's fine.
Someone you don't know a bunch of money and tell them to leave? You are such a trusting, honest soul.
he's a paladin.
He's probably someone that I've gotten to know here in the facility as well, that I have some modicum of trust with.
That's fine. So yes, this is.
If not, I will find him.
This is going to take quite a while, if we're being honest, because you have one ledger book and a couple dozen teams that have to go through it.
But I figure for each team, we can have one person sitting at the ledger, one person reading off of their record, one person reading off of the company record.
Sure, but the problem is that it's still going to take a considerable amount of time because you only have one ledger book. So effectively, only one team at a time can work on this.
Are they being paid for today? Their time for today?
They are not.
How much would it cost to pay this entire day for the people in this room?
So generally, the wages of the company are about 5 gold a day. For most folks. You've got. Let's see. Making me do more math.
Sorry.
You've got about 150 people.
The whole claims
Well,
department?
no, I was gonna say no. You wouldn't have the full 150. You'd have probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like 80 people who are here.
So that'd be 400 gold.
Yeah.
I will cover personally the wages for this day out of my own pocket. Because I make like something crazy a week.
You make more than that for sure. Yeah.
I think you said like 150 or something like that.
I don't remember what I said, but that sounds right-ish. It's definitely considerably more since you're a VP. The pay structure's all out of whack.
Yeah, so I will cover out of pocket the day's wages for these people.
Okay.
And I will make it now. Everybody, I know that this is frustrating and you're being furloughed and then you're being made to stay here. We're providing you food and I will pay you for the day's work out of my own pocket. Don't worry, you'll just owe me later in favors. It's fine. I won't show up to your house in the middle of the night. Probably. Those of you who know my family, don't worry about it.
All right. So this exercise goes on for
a hot second.
For a hot second. When you're about 4-ish hours or so into this, so well into the afternoon at this point, there's a knock on the door. And everyone looks up to see two people.
Mayhem.
They are dressed very professionally. Nice suits. And they have, one is a man and one is a woman, but they have the appearance of being twins. So they very strongly resemble each other. And after the door's open, but they just kind of do that knock that you do to sort of announce your presence, right? And when everyone is looking at them, they sort of straighten up, and then the man says, "Employees of Waterdavian Farm, it has come to our attention that your company is in some dire financial straits." And the woman smiles and picks up where the man left off and says, "We understand that some of you may even be in danger of losing your jobs. And that's just not nice." And the man sort of tilts his head and says, "But don't worry. We're here to offer you an alternative."
I will rush over and I will go, "Hi there. I'm going to, have to, excuse me, everyone. Keep doing what you're doing." And I'm going to start pushing these two people and get them out into the hallway.
I immediately cast Detect Good and Evil on these two.
Okay. So, you said Detect Good and Evil?
Yes.
Okay. They are absolutely fiends. And Poppy, they straight up ignore you. And even as you're trying to push them into the hallway, they're like, it's like you're not even there. For all the more that they react to you doing this. The only thing that they do is speak a little louder. And the woman says,
"No, excuse me, hello, I am the head of HR for this company.
All City Insurance would like to offer you.
I have the, you can go speak to the CEO and myself.
As soon as they light up, I go to the door to them.
At our company, your skills are highly transferable to our business, and we would be delighted to have you.
I start start singing really loudly. La 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 la.
I walk.
Come on, let's go see the CEO. Let's go see the CEO. And I'm physically trying to push them out of the room.
As soon as I see them light up as fiends, I go right over to them to help escort them out the door, telling them this is official company business that you are not privy to. You do not have a non-disclosure agreement concerning this information. I respectfully ask for you to leave this room now.
The man looks at you and says, we have no quarrel with you, and we'll leave. We just here to deliver a message.
This is private
And then
property. You need to leave.
looks back at the room and says, if any of you would like to take us up on our offer, we have a very generous signing bonus.
Yes.
I shut the door in his face mid-sentence.
I will ask you to give a strength check, since they are resisting.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, there are two things that I've been trying to do for a minute. One, True Strike.
Wait, one is what?
Cast True Strike. I just want a little glimpse at their defenses.
Okay.
And the second is pull out of my bag of holding and drown them out.
Since you're kind of breaking up a little bit, can you?
Yeah, your mic is real soft.
Yeah.
My internet is stupid.
It's kind of difficult to hear you.
Yeah.
And I will try yet again. Right up on it. I will cast True Strike because I want to look at their defenses. And I will pull out of my bag of holding a vuvuzela and drown them out.
They're just going to speak louder.
I rolled a 17.
Okay. Give me a second because I've got a couple things going on here.
Sure, no problem. I just want to let you know.
So since True Strike doesn't necessarily, I know the wording says your magic grants you a brief insight into the target's defenses, but that's really just color language for the fact that you gain advantage on your next roll.
In the event that there is a next roll, just in case. I'll put that.
So yeah, you can absolutely do that and get an advantage. You're just not, you don't really learn anything about them materially.
If there is a roll, then I want advantage, and if there isn't, no problem.
So, Robert, the bad news is that they rolled a 29 on their strength check.
Okay.
So, they don't go out the door. So the man finishes what he was saying, which was to say that if any of you want to take us up on our gracious offer, including a generous signing bonus and a salary twice what you're receiving here, please come see us at All City.
I cast Turn the Unholy.
Okay.
At all what? All City?
All
I
City.
knew that rat was a rat.
Hey, Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go pretty quick here.
Yes, I know. We can just say you sneak out the back. No worries.
Cool. Excellent. I'll see you guys later. Kill them.
Bye.
But
Okay, so this is a class feature for you, right?
what's that?
Turn the Unholy is a class feature for you?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw. What's your spell save DC?
15.
15. Okay. Okay. They both pass that as well. But they finish what they're saying. And then they turn and give you a very unpleasant, kind of toothy smile. And then they turn to leave.
As they give me that toothy smile, I just grasp a hold of the hilt of Malachi. I don't pull the sword out. I just wait for them to make a move as they leave.
Yep, they don't make any kind of move. They just they depart peacefully, having delivered their message. And yeah, that's it. They leave.
What was the company that we had just had discussions with before?
The one. Well, so theoretically, you went to all of your competitors, if you recall.
The one with the handsome orc.
The one with the handsome orc, that was Regressive Insurance.
Regressive.
Okay. So it wasn't all city. Okay.
But
well, at least my handsome orc crush is free of this implication here.
I turn back around to everybody in the room and say, I'm sorry for that interruption, everyone. We have work to do, and their timing was just a little too perfect to try to keep us from completing our job. Let's get this task finished.
Also, keep in mind that you've all signed a non-compete clause, and I put the Vuvuzela away.
I'm going to let you all make an insight check if you want to sort of get a read on the room after that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Read the room.
5.
Give me just a second. My computer is not acting the way it needs to.
16.
I want my... I can't get to... Hold on. Can't switch sheets. I want to let me switch sheets.
I don't know.
Why won't you let me switch sheets? Hold on. Hold on. Let me just, I think that's a +1. Anyway, it's either a 3 or a 4, so it doesn't matter. Hold on, I got to reset my sheet.
Actually, passive insight for me is a 10, so.
Okay.
16.
15. Okay.
16.
16. Mildred, you can tell that a number of the room are at least considering the offer. I mean, a signing bonus plus twice their pay is pretty good. Same work. And they've just been furloughed, so with no idea of how long they're going to be furloughed. It is true that some of them will have non-compete clauses, but not necessarily all of them. And they're probably at least willing to go have the talk.
Mm-hmm.
You have a sneaking suspicion that should this work continue a whole lot longer, you're going to start losing people.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, how many of the teams that we've the claims teams, what percentage are left to go through the records?
You've gotten through about a third of them.
I will release the people as they go and just be like, have a great day. I'm sorry. Get any cheese or meats that you keep in your desk out of there. I know from experience, you don't leave those in your, it's not a good scene. Bye. Don't go to the demons. They're evil. Bye.
They're probably lying, and they'll probably pay you twice what you're worth for about a month and then fire you. It's up to you, but I think that we can save your current job and you won't lose seniority.
Bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
I think we can save your jobs and you won't lose seniority or your retirement package or your benefits. Just saying.
Make a persuasion check, Mildred.
Please be a good bonus, Lord. Persuasion +3. 15?
Okay. Your comments seem to make a couple of them reconsider. But the mood is still pretty downtrodden as
Get
as
that.
folks file out for the day.
We'll let you know by the end of tomorrow what's going on, okay? If I have to, I'll come to everybody's house and let you know personally. You should at least know what's going on so that you can make an informed decision. Take care. Bye, Kathy. Tim.
A couple of them wave at you.
Take care, Jonas. Ezra.
And
Bye.
before you know it, it's just the three of you left in the room. Red's disappeared. You don't know where he went.
God damn it. Where'd he go?
Well, I suppose the rest of the task remains to us, and I just pull up a seat at the table and
Go through it.
pick up where they've left off.
Yep. I will go through, pull pull my old records too if I can. Look through.
To be honest, even with just the three of you doing it, it doesn't really go a whole lot slower because you only have the one ledger. So this is, you make, honestly, the same amount of progress. If you want, we can skip ahead a little bit. Okay.
Sounds good.
So you guys work for a couple more hours and reach the point where you've gone through about half of all of the records. And a very clear pattern has emerged. On every team, with no exceptions, there are transactions in the ledger that should not be there. On every team. They have no case associated with them. There's no notes. There's no record of why that payment was made. But there are notes. There is a transaction in the ledger that who knows where it came from. And the amounts have some fluctuation, but it is roughly spread out evenly across the teams that you've gone through right now. So nothing to make you suspect any one person or team of being responsible for this. And the other part of the pattern that you notice is that none of those transactions occurred before Mayhem was deposed.
He was protecting it. Weird as that is to say, he was protecting the company.
Or after he's behind it all since we chased him out.
No, it's not Mayhem. I would know if it was Mayhem. This is necromancy. That's not Mayhem's style. Slow and quiet fraud is not Mayhem's style. This is not Mayhem. This is something that he was preventing. Like, the guy is, evil and probably going to eat me. I'm not sticking up for him, but this is not his style. This is something else.
There's one living board member, one living past board member, and it's Nate.
You have reason to believe Nate is dead.
He did.
Okay. I'd forgotten that.
Yeah. There are no living board members.
Well, Mayhem.
But besides me.
Living on this plane.
Purple instantly does not seem his style.
I don't think he wasn't not on this plane when I talked to him, though.
Yeah,
Hold on, guys. Stand back. I'm going to try something.
Mildred, what's your armor class?
Why do you need to know?
I'm trying to be proactive here on your behalf.
15.
I'm going to cast Shield of Faith on Mildred just in case.
Okay.
You get a +2 to your armor class.
Thank you very much.
I sense what she's about to do, and I don't want to take any chances.
Okay.
I'm gonna. Hey, Mayhem. It's me. You girl. What the hell is going on? There's necromancy in the books and, people losing their jobs and clearly, there's something going on here. You got like a creepy rival or something that you never told us about. It would be nice if we knew. Really like your help. I don't think you're doing it. This doesn't seem like have your pizzazz with it. XOXO, Gossip Girl.
Poppy, make me a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Okay.
A wisdom saving throw.
Doop 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 boop boop. What is my wisdom? Oh, it's so bad. We're gonna use my mint chocolate chip die. That is a 12.
A 12. You feel something dark and chaotic and hungry rooting around in the back of your brain. And it is definitely the same presence you felt as before. It's definitely mayhem. And then you hear a voice, his voice, in your head say, I've already helped.
How?
He says, I spoke to your friend.
Wait, that was you? Wait. That was you in the cemetery?
Oh no.
Did you talk to Red?
Yeah, you actually hear like a low chuckle in the back of your head.
Dang it!
He says, well, if you don't want me to talk to him, you should tell him not to contact other planes.
No, that's fully fair. That's fair. Hey. So, you gonna come back soon? Save the day? Eat me? Anything? It would be nice to know. I got 2 axes over my neck right now. So it would be nice.
He says, oh, you'll be seeing me soon, Poppy. But if you want to save the company, the rest you'll have to do yourself.
Cool.
Ask your friend what
You're
I
always
told
such
you.
a laugh. What did he say?
He said, ask your friend what I told him.
Well, he's not here right now.
Not my problem. And you feel the presence in the back of your brain just shut off.
I hate it when he does that. Oh, it's like there's an octopus on my brain. Oh.
Well, he told Red something. Red contacted other plane again, which, I mean, we need to stop letting him go to the bathroom alone. That's becoming an issue. He's told Red something. And I don't know what it is. But that might be the key.
Did we hear Mayhem speaking or just Poppy?
No, it was only in Poppy's head.
But she was speaking to him out loud.
She was speaking to him out loud, unless she wants to have only been speaking in her head.
You gotta talk to Red. He's got the answers.
Where did he go?
Where
Did he leave with the others?
Did he leave us a note?
If he went off to sign a contract with the other company, I'm going to be so mad. He signs things just left and right. He's a warlock, okay? That's a problem when it's him because he clearly does not investigate the source of his powers before he accepts them. He works here, and frankly, that's a mark against all of us. I can't really judge him, but it's on the list. He signed a contract just today for no reason that I could determine. And he just, he's fully immersed in the peanut butter. I'm just saying.
It appears he is at least a bit irresponsible with his behavior.
I don't know. I think, I respect that. He's a loose cannon. I respect a loose cannon.
Yes, but loose cannons more often than not blow up in your face. And I can tell you that that is not a desired result.
Have you had a loose cannon blow up in your face, like for real?
I gesture at my blueness.
Case in point.
No, I mean like a literal loose cannon. It sounded like you've had an actual loose cannon blow.
Yes,
that was
I lost.
The implication of that.
I lost 2 friends to a cannon that exploded.
Oh, God.
Mildred looks a little bit chastened and says, well, if you're going to go literal, sure.
I'm sorry for your loss.
They were good men. They fought bravely.
Anyway,
So we definitely have a pattern here.
we have a pattern. Red has an answer. We have...
Do we need to go to work with this right away?
Hold on. Let me think.
Feel like
Let me
more-
think.
You know what? If I had a brother, I suspect he would be far too much like Mork for me to point any fingers. But I just want to say that I don't know if he can handle the stress until we have answers to give him.
Understood.
Very fair. That's very fair. Here's the thing. I'm going to do something.
Yeah.
So, I can do something that... I really want to contact other plane, but I feel like we've been abusing that lately, and I don't...
Hey, if you want to contact other plane, you are a warlock. You have the spell. Go for it.
It feels kind of like underhanded, because that's Red's spell now at this point. We've already used it once today.
He's not here to. He's not here to complain.
Red's not here right now. If you want to contact other plane, it is a perfectly valid thing that you can do.
I'm gonna do something stupid, and I'm gonna cast contact other plane.
Okay.
I'm going to hide behind the water cooler so that someone else can turn a new color.
I will stand in front of the watercolor and protect Mildred,
Okay.
just in case.
So you have a saving throw to make.
Okay, what is the saving throw?
The saving throw, I believe, is an intelligence saving throw. Yes, a DC 15 intelligence saving throw.
DC 15 intelligence saving throw.
Correct.
Okay, that's just a plus 0.
Okay, are you within 10 feet of me?
Oh,
Poppy?
it's a 19.
Okay.
All right, 19 works. So you establish contact with an otherworldly entity. This is not Mayhem. You're confident. It doesn't feel like him. In fact, it feels slimy. And moist.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's an unpleasant sensation. But you've definitely got a direct line to this entity, whatever it is, and you have 5 questions. 1-word answers.
Hey there. It's me. Hey there, demons. It's me, your boy. Hi. If you feel something weird in here, there's already been a horrifying eldritch entity that's all up in here very recently. I'm sorry about the mess. Just got some quick questions for you. Is All City Insurance? Is this them? Are they doing this? They got a hand in this?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Cool. Tight. How are you? I just feel like I should ask you that. I'm utilizing your space and your brain. How are you feeling? Are you okay? Is this like invasive?
It says, impatient.
Impatient?
Yeah.
Is there a mole in the company?
No.
I thought it was Karen. Damn it!
Okay, cool. Tight.
I go, what should I ask it? All City is behind this. They have a hand in it at least. I have 2 more questions. He's getting impatient apparently.
What is the mechanism by which they are affecting this sabotage?
What is the mechanism by way of which they are committing the sabotage?
Necromancy.
Yeah. Just says necromancy.
Oh, that person doesn't understand. Or they do when they're just being a jerk.
Or they can only give 1-word answers.
It's the bookkeeper. Never mind.
We don't have a mole.
Do we want to find out if All City is the only company behind this? Or if it's just them?
Is All
I.e.,
City
is this a
the only-
conspiracy? I.e., is this a conspiracy against us, or are they going after other fish as well?
Is it just All City behind this, or are there other parties?
trying to figure out how to answer that in one word. The response is haze. Hayes.
Haze. It all goes back to the haze. The hazes.
Hazes.
They have a policy with us, don't they?
No, there's someone on. I think there's a haze on. There's a haze that works for all city, isn't there? That we've established that before. Yes! Because I knew that. Yes!
Yeah.
Thank you, Eldritch Entity.
The connection.
Yeah, one of them is upper management at All City Insurance.
We have to go in. We have to investigate all city. I almost said all state. We have to investigate all city. That's.
Do we need to go back and further explore that mausoleum?
We may. Well, all we know is that we need to. What if we infiltrate their records? If we infiltrate their records, there will be records somewhere. Insurance may be evil, but god damn it, we keep records. We have to infiltrate them. We have to infiltrate them and we have to get into their records. We got to do a heist, guys. We got to do a heist.
Does one of us take them up on their offer of employment?
I just want to lay this out there. We don't have to tell one of us to take them up on it. Red's going to do it. You already know that, don't you? Deep in your heart, he's going to do it.
He would be likely. He's young,
He'll sign
adventurous, he's foolish.
anything. He'll sign anything. He'll leap right into the peanut butter.
We'll send one of us in. What if we all go?
That would
Why
be.
not? Why not?
After what?
Why not? It's a sinking ship. I mean,
After the display that
save the
we
company.
did. After the display we did to shout them down, so to speak, would it look suspicious?
Yes,
it would, but also
we were.
it is a sinking ship. It's not hard. Do I have a non-compete clause?
Probably you would have a non-compete clause because you're a VP.
Damn it. So I couldn't, but
Well,
Well,
I
I
mean,
could.
you could talk to them about it. They might have a way to get around it, but you definitely have a non-compete.
I'm telling you, warlocks will sign things. I say to Scandalon.
Mm-hmm.
Hasten
what
down.
am I? Chopped liver?
Oh, warlock! And look at you, you're already thinking about signing, aren't you?
Not for realsies. I already did that once, and now I think I'm going to be eaten. So, you know.
You are not chopped liver, you are pate.
Thank you.
That's for,
Thank you very much.
that's Elvish for chopped liver.
What do I know about the Hayes family? Like, as a what do I know anything?
you only really know general information, which we covered a couple sessions ago, but basically that they are a mercantile trading family. They're not nobility, but they're well known and well respected. They've sort of had their hands in a number of different pots over the course of the last few decades. They've acquired quite a bit of money. And as you've already remembered, there is a haze that works at All City. But that's about it.
Are there records that are like company history? Is there like a company history written?
For Waterdavian Farm or for All City?
Yeah. For Waterdavian Farm, if there's one for All City, I want to get one. I want to look.
So you probably have like a piece of corporate marketing shtick that's the history of Waterdavian Farm serving you for 60 years or, whatever. And it's got like the cleaned up timeline. Mildred, you're muted.
I'm not.
Now you are. I can hear you. I couldn't hear you before.
So that's just the stuff that's on our company brochure, correct?
Yeah, it's like the cleaned up version of the founding by the original board members, and it leaves out some of the things like the fact that Mayhem was only involved in order to eat them, to give them to Flora. You don't have like a behind the scenes like official history of Waterdavian Farm. All City Insurance you definitely don't have anything on, but that's not to say that if you didn't want to go to like a library or something like that, you might be able to find some information.
Go dirt digging.
Yeah.
Let's go find some microfiche. Or what would be microfiche? Fantasy microfiche.
Micro scrolls.
Micro scroll.
I can't.
We gotta go.
But I know that the archivist subclass of artificer has it.
Yeah. Do we want to go to the library to do some research before we do a heist?
I think
we do some corporate espionage.
We're not doing corporate espionage because that's illegal. I think that if we're going to do it, we should probably go to the library. Isn't that what you do?
And then corporate espionage.
Let's get as much information as we can.
Library.
All right.
To the library.
To the library.
All right. And that is where we will stop for the evening. So next week we'll find out where Red went and what Red's been doing. And we'll see what happens at the library and what we can put together about All City Insurance and this mysterious haze that works there. So unfortunately, as many of you viewers may have noticed, Jake had to leave a little bit early tonight, so he is obviously was not with us for this last 30 minutes and will not be able to sign off today. But we will go ahead and continue back around, give everyone a chance to sign off, say hello, plug anything you want to plug. Cintu, we'll start with you.
I am Cintu is my Twitter handle, and once in a blue moon, I actually log in there. I'm lying. I don't actually log in there all that much, but a miracle could happen. On Mondays, I am with Dungeon of the Mad Mage on the Fox and Penguin show, and that's at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. On Tuesdays in December, excluding Christmas Eve, I am on Humble Origins, set in the Humblewood D&D setting, where I play a hedge cleric, and that is at... Come on, this was just yesterday. Where's my brain? That is at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. And Wednesdays I'm here. This is where you'll find me. Mastering my head off.
Hannah.
Hi, my name is Hannah. I am Asbestos Tito's over on Twitter, Discord, Miss Murphy on Instagram. Not in any other right now because career and restarting grad school. But if you like pretty pictures and screaming about vampires, follow me on Twitter. Cool.
Cool. And Robert.
Greetings, everyone. I am Kentucky Hawkeye, KY Hawkeye, on all social medias other than Facebook. On Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern, I have my weekly Lego game playthrough. Right now, we are doing Marvel Superheroes 2. Wednesday nights, I'm here for this. Thursday night, 6 p.m. Eastern time, also on my Twitch channel is our Skyrim serial. We are currently about halfway through our current story, which is the Dark Thalmor. And then Saturday nights at 7 p.m., I have Grappler's Keep, where I have a bunch of wrestlers from all sorts of different areas on Twitch, GMs, DMs, and other RPG players compete inside a wrestling ring that we lovingly call the Dice Tray. And we have our own WWE 2K20 universe going there. Otherwise, you can see me watching or maybe doing one-shots here or there. Cancer Cleric by day, RPG fanboy by night.
Yay. And lastly, myself, I'm Danielle at RyRacontor on Twitter, your dungeon master for these wonderful, wonderful players. You can follow me there for all kinds of nerdy content, things like talking about books I like, or TTRPGs I'm enjoying, or movies I like. Pretty much anything that falls under that category, I will probably talk about at some point. You can also catch me on Instagram at @Thalialata, which is primarily where I post cosplay things, if cosplay is your jam. And I am currently playing in 2 games. Here, Fridays 8:30, or Fridays at 8 o'clock. Specifically, this Friday at 8 o'clock is the finale of the Portland Files, a Dresden Files RPG game that is set in the city of Portland, Maine. We successfully stopped a fairy war a couple weeks back, but we are still trying to track down a phoenix. So come find out what happens and how this season ends. I'm also in an Invisible Sun game known as The Edge of Paradox. That's on Saturdays at 8. Currently investigating a mysteriously disappeared street. So, and also what happened to me in my mysterious past. Come find out. We will be here, same time, same bat channel, next week to finish out this season. And then after that, we will wish you all a very happy holiday as we take a break, and we'll see if we come back for season 3. So come see us next week. Subscribe to Variant Roles if you haven't already. There's a Patreon information down below. And we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.